Now it was a fair fight. It was a fair fight. It was a fair fight. We put two opponents against each other, and I mean the results are pretty much in. I mean, you know, we have it going in the first round, right? The Tantalo, Ivan, Tantalo, comment. Ivan and Tantalo has won. Someone just completely not following the rules. Congrats, Ivan, the boys won. Ivan, my boy got them snipes. I was like, yo, man, it looked like Ivan about to win. Then Tanny boy. Then elite shield barrier review. That's not happening. And then, you know, a little talk, and then might be a good opportunity to talk about Tantalo. He kind of goes, see, he says Ivan, but Tantalo would be better. Tantalo. And it just kind of explodes there. So it's early, obviously. You know, the video's only been out for like an hour or so, 2 hours. But I have work also in 2 hours. So here's the deal. We're gonna do Big Daddy Stack Daddy. And if it comes out that Ivan somehow comes back to this video and wins, I'll try to do a video early morning for the boy Ivan. But right now,
we eating good. I'm a fat man. Feed it chewing drugs like Pac-Man. TMG on your Walkman. It's fine.
what's going on, guys? It's your boy Cash, and this video contains 2 layers of bacon, a side of deep fried Oreos, mayo, ketchup, and cheese, and is 100% diabetes, probably heart disease as well, but most importantly 100% MFO. Now what we're gonna be doing is talking about my big boy. Imagine having to like get the blacksmith. All these blacksmiths in these gacha games can't make armor correctly. We need to go to this dude's blacksmith. This guy's blacksmith is phenomenal. Look at that armor, bro. Look at that armor. Perfectly tailored for my big boy. And we can't get the right weapon when we craft. But you know, it's fine. It's fine. We're not here to talk. Okay, Cash, you're being too negative. I swear. I swear, if you say all these bad, mean things that are happen to be true. All right, let's turn up the volume and get in a spicy mood, because we are going to be talking about Tantalo today. And he's a really good character. Actually, his base form is pretty good. We're going to speak about that first. So, of course, guys, let's go into the base stats. All right, so at level 5, these are base stats. 47 hundo HP, pretty good. Defense 1590. Not that bad. We might have to side by side that to some of the you know, the tank gods. That's really high. Hit is 99, dodge 90, critical hit 50, block 390. You dirty son of a bitch. Yo, he up there with Ulam and Digas? Yo, stop. Yo, these legendaries. Yo, stop. And as we all know, critical damage, block defense, and luck are exactly the same on every character. Now I have to, by ways of law, compare this. I'm gonna take a screenshot and we're gonna compare this to Ulam, you know, because I like to compare a lot of things to Ulam. He still has about 100 more defense and a little bit more HP, but not that far off though. Really not that far off. Very impressive. But it's only important if we go into those skills. The skills are what really make it. But just going off of those base stats, man, I'm actually a little bit excited. But I know what you guys are thinking. I know what you guys are thinking. How old is this beautiful man? And I was thinking the same thing too. And he is actually 42. I think he's the first character that we reviewed in their 40. I think the highest before was like in the 30s. I think with Janae, I think she was like 32 or something like that. But he's in the 40s. So if you guys are looking for, what do they call it? A gray fox, a silver fox, I think that's called. A older gentleman with gray hair that looks pretty attractive. I mean, let me know in the comment section below. You don't have to be afraid. You don't have to be afraid. Let's also keep in mind that this guy is a nature character, so let's keep that in mind, that when shit gets rough, it's good to have a tank that is nature. Same thing with like Chatty, but you know, Chatty hasn't come up in a review yet. It ain't my fault. All right, so let's check out the basic attack here. That is a lot. Oh my, okay. For all that fat, my man can move. Hold on, let's see that again. That's a lot of movement. That's more, who was I talking? Ooh, that spam risk. Get that spam risk call. I should pick it up. All right, so now we're gonna go over to the passive. He does have the block passive, pretty basic. When someone gets low on the team outside of himself, He will then provoke the entire enemy team and give himself a heal over time. He'll gain 1 mana if your health is 20% or less when triggered. So this one is, you know, if his health is low, he'll gain mana when it gets triggered. Also, obviously, since he's provoking, he's gonna start gaining mana at a crazy rate. Also, depending on how low that character is, he'll start getting mana because of his nature, because he's a nature element as well, so it's doubled up. He's also a Dragon Knight, so he's in our Dragon video as well. He's one of those characters that technically you should be bringing into Dragon if you want to increase the damage that you do. Though he's not a DPS oriented character, he is a tank, so it's kind of weird that he's a Dragon Knight, but you know, it is what it is. Next up, we're gonna have the Grand Flippe. Deals 71% damage, which is pretty low, obviously, but it's an AoE taunt for 3. Now, if you think about him, like I said, being a nature character, it does kind of mess with his passive a little bit as far as he has an AoE provoke and then he has another AoE provoke. A lot of these characters, like Malhar, has an issue with this. He has the block, but he also has a single target provoke, and this guy has an AoE provoke. Now, obviously, what this means is that if you know you're actually in a good position, you still have access to an AoE provoke, which is really good. For 3 turns, if you time it up, which if you're doing it correctly, if you saw his speed is not that fast, so he'll probably go last, and very likely what will happen after that is that he'll AoE provoke, and the first 3 enemies that are really quick will go. His thing is to screw over single target attackers. So I do like this skill a lot. A low mana AoE provoke is a very strong thing, especially depending on turn order. Let's look at it. Okay, the demonic shield. Very good animation of very good animation. Next up, we're gonna have the body check, and it's gonna deal 300 damage, which isn't that bad. Still 4 mana here, so it's not the biggest thing in the world. Like not that bad. 4 mana is very easy to get. 1 on a tank that has provoke, and also a nature-based character. Now he has paralyze, which is another fancy term for the stuns. It's just a 6-turn stun, which is obviously really good. Most likely will affect the character. You do have to look down at the turn bar to see what character is going at what time. But if you can, you know, do simple math, count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and see when the character is going to go, you can disable a character that is going to be somewhat problematic. So I really like this, especially if he's getting his nature mana. That means he's low on HP or someone's low on HP, so he can always do this on his turn to always make sure that one character is screwed. This is, in my opinion, in PvP better than an AoE stun to only stun the character that is problematic. And if you could technically do this, if you had more single target stuns, you can really disable a team. This is where Barnabas actually comes into play as well. He has single target stuns as well. But yeah, you take some wrath damage or whatever, but you can still prevent them from doing their nukes and other things like that. So let's check out the body check. Okay. Okay. Thumbnail secured. Then he Sonic the Hedgehog you, which I guess would hurt. I mean, got these bull things on his shoulder, head thing on the shoulder, I guess. But I mean, thumbnail secured, so I mean, that's all. That's, you know, that's the only thing I'm happy about. I don't know about you. I think this S2 looks a lot better than his S3. So let's go over to his faded version and see what the little hamster brings. We've gone over the hamster a decent amount of times, but now in his own video, I think it really brings it home. Now that we looked at his base stats, before we just talked about his stats, but when you bring in like everything else as a whole, I think it really goes into. Now, the come into the banger thing, he's one of the golds, so that means he has a little bit extra sauce than all the other squirrel, hamster, whatever the heck they are. I don't even know what they really actually are. But as you can see, he turns into a little homie here. His block 2 now gets updated with the Heart Strike passive. As you guys know, Heart Strike, keep in mind, I feel like a lot of people, when they explain Heart Strike, is like they always for some reason forget about the fact that it goes on the highest HP target first, and then if that character then dies, then like it does bounce around. But as you keep hitting those targets, then you know you'll gain, it says, oh, actually didn't know that, obtain 1 mana per enemy mark level at the beginning of the turn. I didn't even know that. That actually makes him very consistent on that, which is pretty cool. But every time you inflict damage with a character that has Heart Strike, it will level up the Heart Strike. Level 1 is attack speed, level 2 is defense, lower attack speed, and level 3 you pretty much take like this weird damage over time strike that hurts a lot. And of course they're blinded, so it pretty much neutralizes any first guardian, so that's why it's really good. It's really strong. It pretty much, if a first guardian gets it, they're screwed. But the thing about it, the only thing that I specifically do not know, and I would have to have someone in the comment section let me know, is if there's multiple Heartstrike characters, does multiple of them go around? I mean, it wouldn't matter, I guess, because it's always on the highest HP. So I guess that makes no sense. Outside of the last part of the Heartstrike 3, that trigger, will that happen multiple times, or does that only happen once? I haven't fought a team with more than one Banga on, so I really have no idea. So with that being said, it's just really strong, really good. If you have a Banga, use them, and then you can literally, if you feel like it, attack each character in order. Like each Heartstrike character that's there, attack them in order, and then slowly but surely get the Heartstrike on the character that you actually find as a bigger threat. This is gonna force you to run characters that can tank bust, because it's gonna be on the tanks, the tankier units. You need to be able to reliably kill them first. If it's a battery comp, you need to be able to kill, you know, the other people first, and then kill, get it on battery. Once it's on battery, it doesn't matter, you can't remove it. So it's harder to do, you know. It's somewhat viable, and this is like the only, I think, like certified way to counter the current meta is to use a Banga character. And I think that the fact that they are on strings right now make it a little bit more attractive. So we can now go into here. Let me check if these moves actually do look different. I don't know if they look different when he's in his hamster form. Now ground flip actually changes now, which is awesome. Now it provides a poison, and as I told in many other videos before, that's really good because it allows you to hit the person that has the Heartstrike, and then those ticks, those, what is it, 3 turn? So those ticks will level up the Heartstrike to 2 and then to 3. What's also good about this is that if you do put the tick on it, we all know that AoE is bad and so is damage over time. But let's say hypothetically you do this, you snipe out, you know, a character with Heartstrike, and then they pass it on to the next character. Now they'll get those ticks, those Heartstrike ticks will start to progress further. And I think, if I'm not mistaken, he's the only character that can do that. So like, it's very, very cool that you can preemptively kind of get them into a quicker Heartstrike if you are timing things up. It's very situational, but it's a situation that does exist with this character. Also, what's really cool about this is that he does give you an attack boost and a block boost. The block boost is 18 turns and the attack boost is 9 turns. Of course, the skill does have to hit, and we've already tested this out before, is that when it says a skill has to hit and it's AoE, it just has to hit at least one character, and then you get the benefits of it entirely. So that's awesome. So literally everyone else can dodge, but that one other fat guy, the Ulum on the team, you know, he gets hit and then boom, he's screwed. I'm a big fan of this skill. It's super loaded, and it has positive and negatives to it, obviously, in the current PvP meta, but it's fantastic if you can apply it and utilize it good. It's all about timing, So, you know, it's better on manual. On AI defense, it might not work as well. It might get your team killed a little bit more often. Oh, did I see it? Oh yeah, here we go. Talks more shit. I like that. I feel like the impact there is a little bit better for some reason, because they slow it down and then he comes back down, and then like he does a little gesture. I'm pretty sure this is the same too. Now this one also gets turned into a single target poison. The poison lasts for an additional turn, but it decreases the attack of targets by, it says targets, but it's only a single target hit. But this one's even better as well, because now you can single out the character that has Heartstrike without affecting the other ones. Also, as you can see, this is now mana 4 and this is mana 3. They did switch them up, so the mana costs are different. So this one's a little bit more accessible, so you can actually, specifically for a lower mana cost, target the character with Heartstrike, and you will hit them, and then the tick should level them up into Heartstrike 3. And at that point, even no matter if they're first guardians or anything like that, they're always going to miss. The Wrath aspect of them is always going to miss. But you do have to keep in mind that they are still generating Dragon Blood stacks. And while you're generating Dragon Blood stacks, once you actually hit a Dragon Scale character, yes, it will hurt a lot. It's gonna hurt, because it's still gonna tally all those things. But all those stacks are, you know, not gonna hurt you as much. But be careful out there. That's all I'm gonna say.
Complete.
Now, as I said before, his speed is 32, and the fact that he does have a reliable provoke and or stun You do kind of want to like slightly speed tune your team, like not like by a lot, but like just so that when he does go, that he is going to be last on your team, and then like of course that the enemy gets like the first few turns. So you're giving up, you know, speed kinda, because if you do his S2, right, and without the skin on, obviously you do the S2 without the skin on, and it's provoke for 3 turns, you want to make sure that he's getting attacked pretty much 3 times, possibly at least 2. But if it's only 1, it's kind of like, why did you hit everybody to only have 1 character hit you? You know, you don't want to run too many fast characters on your team. With that being said, of course, as characters die, provokes become stronger, stuns become stronger. That is how this game works. So I just wanted to mention that as far as that. So as far as team synergy, I do think that you want to go with characters that are a little bit slower but provide, you know, more with it. So aka mages. You want to run like mages. Mages are usually relatively slow, like Bernadette having like 53 speed, pretty good. Like you kind of want something like that. These characters, I mean, very unusual character that doesn't work with that many characters, completely irrelevant to the meta. But you know, mages are going to be really good on this team, because they're going to be able to allow the enemy team to go first, do some auto attacks, hopefully not do too much damage, and then you kind of come back with mana. Especially if you run a more tank support oriented team, I think that would benefit you a lot. I do think that you want to run some type of healing as well, because he's going to be taking a lot of punishment. Though he does have good HP and defense, you still want to keep him healthy. You know, you definitely don't want him to just randomly die and then you lose your blocker, which block is really pivotal right now. And you know, you lose a character that's doing that much, especially if he's the FC. If you have him in the FC form, you definitely want to keep him alive. His Heart Strike by itself can win you a fight, like it's that strong. So you want to be able to keep him in the fight. Now, as far as a reviver, I mean, revive meta right now is just pretty bad. It does work with a nature character in your team comp, so you can run a reviver, because then when that character is revived, it automatically will start triggering your nature, because they come back with one like very low HP. But just be careful. that's the only thing I could say. Right now, there's a lot of AoE, so like you can revive the character. If your reviver revives anyone, they lose a lot of HP for it, so just keep that in mind. You could try to go in there with a very tanky comp, but still hard to do. You guys already should know the vibes. It's coming down to a tanky-esque character, a character that is going to be taking a lot of damage, guaranteed, just by the way that their kit works, regardless of FC version or not, they're going to be taking a lot of damage. So of course, I do like to recommend damage reduction. Red, or I'm definitely going to say blue. Red or blue. I don't think that there's much debate about this. You can either go the block method, which, as we already know, he has high block, so maybe you don't need necessarily more block. I find that the 390 block state plus the armor that you put on the character usually seems to be enough rate, or block rate, or block defense, or whatever, to get you a decent amount of blocks during a fight. So I kind of would lean more towards red, just because, okay, that's not the red, and that's not the red either. I kind of lean a little bit more towards red, just because it does seem that 390 block plus gear seems to be enough to trigger a block. So, and a block, as you've seen, it doesn't matter. I've literally, even the most offensive character, if they block it, I feel like they won't die. They can't get one shot if they block. So maybe that's more of a argument to the blue, have it all blue. But you know, we still haven't really figured out block. I still haven't done that video, I'm sorry. But I do think I would love to test block versus damage reduction. I would love it, but it's either those two. You're not going to run dodge. His dodge is 90, so you're kind of behind the characters that have 100 plus. And you could run shield. You could try to run shield. 3 light, 3 blue, 3 and 3s. I think that's okay. I think that's a viable thing to do. You can also run 6 light for a pretty big barrier. Keep them alive, you know? Let me know what you guys think. But that's about it. Anywho, hope you guys enjoyed the video. Make sure that you like, comment, and subscribe. Thank you guys so much for commenting and liking all the videos. Definitely check out the MFO episode 2. That's gonna be, I'm gonna be pushing that pretty much almost in every video. I really wanna get that out there. I got a lot of things on the way for you guys coming up in the next few days, so look out for that. I hope you guys are gonna be excited. So yeah, a lot of cool things coming. So just remember that every day at the casino is your lucky day, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.